Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an SU-14-1. It's a Tier 7 Soviet SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Glacier and it's under the command of Scrappey. Now that is the 152mm howitzer, the BR2. I can tell that because it's long and thin. It'd be short and fat, it's the B4 howitzer, and that's 203mm. And alongside him is a GW Tiger Porsche. It looks like they're headed in the same direction. Let's hope they don't have a conflict for the firing spot. Now this Arty is actually based on the hull of a Soviet heavy tank, the T-35. It was a failed heavy tank because it was built during the wars, and it was actually a dreadful tank, as any of the experts at Bovington will tell you. It was dreadful because it had the wrong dimensions for it to operate properly. It was too long and too wide, you might say. Okay, well, he's looking for a target. He's found the T-34-85, the non-premium version. He's dialing in. Okay, he's ready to fire. Rounds out. And a direct hit wipes out the target. So he gets his first kill. Now, this is the thing about this Arty. It really can be quite devastating if you fire it accurately. It's the same BR2 howitzer that you'll find in some of the other Artys, Soviet Artys, but it is very powerful and it's got a very quick reload. Normal reload time for this Arty is around about 23 seconds without any rammer or good crew, but I suspect that he's actually got a rammer and crew, so he'll probably be a bit quicker. Ready to go, but he hasn't got a target to shoot at yet. There is an enemy target in that vicinity. Just waiting for him to be spotted again. It's KV2. Oh, he's found another target. A T-44 Tier 8 Soviet medium over on the perimeter path. It's a very difficult shot. In fact, actually, he's got a red line at the moment, which tends to indicate there's something obstructing the path. Ah, it's that rock just ahead of the target. Okay, well, he's now got a green line, so he can fire, but he's got no target to aim at. Oh, there's the T-44. He can probably splash it if he puts the round nearby, and I think that's what he's going to do. Rounds out. And yes, it does damage the target and stun him. And he's picked up some damage assist. Now the really good thing about this Arty is that you do get more rounds to play with than if you were using the standard B4, which obviously does have a limited ammo capacity. They actually have cranes, actually not cranes, they're sort of like joists, which, well, lifts that are used to actually move the shells about up onto the tank, because it is such a big tank. It was difficult for the crews to actually move the ammo about. So you had to have all sorts of lifts and cranes to actually pull the shells up and mount them into the gun. Fires around at the P-53, gets a splash for 331, good one. He's taking damage and he's gone down, so he's picked up 732 hit points of stun assist off that target alone. And that's the other thing, is if you can stun a target inside of your teammates, then usually you'll pick up a lot of benefit from it. And that Tiger P, when he's holding at that corner, looks like our fellow Arty, there is another one, the GW Tiger P, just fired and stunned him, and of course now we've fired in there and did some damage. The Tiger P would have picked up some extra stun assist. And the new target's an Oni, and oh, it went down very quickly to a lot of fire. And there's that KV2 again, last sighted at the entrance to the aircraft carrier pass, and he takes a direct hit this time for 213. Good shot, and he's gone. Well, this is looking very, very good for Scrappy at the moment. He's picking up masses of stun assist or damage assist or actual damage himself. Now he's indicating he's going to go for the KV2. Rounds out, looks good. And it splashes him for 45. It landed on the capsized ship just in front of him. So he did pick up some of the splash. These shells actually have a splash radius which is 7.6 meters. So if they are fairly close to the shell, they are going to pick up some damage. Okay, we've got a T-25-2. Tempty's coming around the perimeter. And there's another tank directly ahead of him, but we can't see that at the moment. Oh, we've got a red line. He fired the round in, and unfortunately it looks like it impacted on whatever obstruction. Yes, I think it was that rock face there. And there's the T-44, which was ahead of him. The same one we fired at earlier. Oh, 4503 went down to an SU-101. Now we can't shoot at the T-44, but we can probably hit that KV2. So he's turned. You notice that the arc of the SU-14-1 is very, very narrow. And that's because the gun was fixed into a very solid mount on the tank. And so it couldn't traverse very much. He's got a nice hit there. 271 hit points. We now see the reload time he's got it down to is 21.09 seconds. So he's shaved off 2 seconds off the actual normal reload time. There's that SU-101, the guy who took out our VK-4503. So we know he's hovering around that sort of area. Oh, tree went down. That sort of tends to indicate where he actually went. So we fired a round in the hope that he's still there. I think he's going to probably pop round and use that pass with the little bushes just to our left. I know the tree went down. Unless, of course... Oh, no, they may realise that our guys are getting fairly close to their cap. And so they're returning to their cap area. And I think Scrappy's realised this as well. So it's very likely they will be taking up defensive positions near their cap to try and fend off the attack of the KV2 and the AMX-50-100. Well, there's one of the enemy Arty, and he's running for it. GW Panther, which is the Tier 7 equivalent in the German tech tree. Rounds out, maybe a bit early, but it was a good hit. 168 hit points. It landed just in front of the GW. I think if he'd been a split second later on the shot, I think he would have got a direct hit and it would have taken out that GW completely. There's the SU-101. Chance to get revenge for the VK-4503. He's hiding behind the rock at the moment, and I think he's trying to use the bush mechanic to actually see where the enemy are, or where our teammates are, but he will pull back to shoot, and that tree going down may have been an indication that he has actually pulled back. It did go down after an explosion, but the explosion appears to have been a little way away from the tree, so I suspect that what he actually did is he pulled back in order to use the bush mechanic. Scorpion G is going up the perimeter road to see if he can find that T-44, but I suspect he has also returned back to his own cap. And we've just taken out the GW Tiger P on the enemy team. So they now have no Arty. So there's no risk of counter battery. Yep, Scorpion G is not finding anyone, so it does indicate the T-44 and that T-25-2 have both returned to their own cap area. The only other two remaining enemies are the SU-101 and that E-25. As you can see, that overhang is a bit of a problem for aiming with Arty, and it does help to actually get a better battle assistant mode, a better battle assistant mod, and you can get one. They are available. There's one site called Armor Inspector. Okay, aiming for the E-25, he fires the round in. Oh! He accidentally hit the Scorpion G on his own side, and he had to burn his repair kit to his first aid kit rather to get his crew unstunned. So that's going to cost Scrappy. Oh, the Scorpions had to bug out, and did he survive? No, he didn't survive. He crashed, but we did get the E25 in the end. It was our T-3485M who got him. So there's only 3 enemies left. You know, that's one of those moments where you fire at what you believe is a stationary enemy, but he moves back and our guy moves in to take up the spot that the enemy occupied. That happens so often to Arty players, and then obviously the Arty player gets blamed. Oh! Now that shell actually did hit something because there was no explosion. So there must have been an attack. It's the T-44, I think, that he hit. I'm pretty sure that he hit that T-44 square on. And he's now trying to circle around to attack the T-3485 from behind. We fire another round in and splash the T-44. He's stunned. We're picking up stun assist. And he's gone. Only 2 enemies remain, the SU-101 and that T-25-2. T-25-2 is about to come through that pass and our T-3485M is pulling back. We fire a round in. It hits the T-25-2 for 247 hit points. He's a one-shot now. T-3485M will get him. Yep, he's got him. And that's it. Game over. So, some good shots in that game by Scrappy. 1.6k of damage, supposedly. Let's have a look at the end of battle results. He's got an Ace Tanker. Scrappy has finally managed to ace his SU-14-1. He's really happy about that, I'll bet. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 14 in that game. And he got a Confederate because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And just look at that list there. Yeah, quite a long list of enemies hit. Well, we look at the team scores. We can see that the high scorer on our team was the T-3485M. He got 2,506 hit points. But the high scorer overall was the SU-101 on the enemy team. He got 3,718 hit points and he got the high caliber. But Scrappy wasn't far behind. He got 2,169 hit points, which makes him the 3rd highest damage scorer in that game. Well, when it came to kills, though, he was a little way down the table. He actually only managed to get 1 kill in that game, which puts him sharing that honour with quite a few others. And when it came to base XP, though, he was 2nd top with 1,196 XP, and he was only beaten by that T-3485M, who did very well with 1,568. He fired 17 rounds in that game, got 6 direct hits but no penetrations, splash damage on 13, damage of 2,169 hit points, and all of it was at more than 300 meters. He hit 9 of the enemy but only killed 1, so there's your difference to get the Confederate. And he also did damage assistance of 416 hit points and stun assist of 1,583 hit points off 12 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he earned 37,829 credits, and after ammunition resupply, took away 18,789 credits. He received 1,196 base XP, and there was no multipliers, so that's all he took away. I'm very pleased that he got the Ace Tanker. I managed to get my first Ace Tanker in the SU-14-1 on a game that I really didn't think I'd done that well in. But in actual fact, I did actually earn a few medals and get the Ace. And it was really because I was pumping out rounds as fast as I could using that 152mm gun. You can use the 203 on this one. 203mm does have a lot of punch. It's 1050 alpha. But the problem with it is that it's such a long reload that you have to pick your targets very carefully. Otherwise, you will miss out on getting big XP and big damage. But certainly Scrappy did very well on this. I would say, though, a few of his shots, like the one when he was aiming at the E25 and he accidentally hit his own Scorpion, I think I would have been more inclined to aim behind the E25, not actually at him, for fear of actually stunning the Scorpion. And if you had done that, the E25 would have driven straight back into the aim point, and that would have given you an even bigger hit without annoying your teammate. But as it was, it all worked out okay in the end. The team won and he got the Ace Tanker. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel please, and hit that notification button. We try to put up at least 4 videos a day. Some are arty, some are tanks, and a lot of them are ordinary schmoes or super unicums. And if you want to find out how to drive a particular tank, we'll probably have a replay we can show you. In fact, many people have actually said, oh, do you have any replays concerning this particular tank? And I can point to at least 5, maybe 6, maybe even a dozen replays concerning that particular tank to show you exactly how it should be played. So if you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching.